Welcome to the video. In this one, I'm breaking down the $40 million sniper ad framework. And this is how we create ads that convert like crazy, especially when it comes to attracting, high ticket clients for info and service businesses. So if you're new here, my name's Hugh, and I have been running ads for 11 years now. I started in my own business as a high ticket online health and fitness coach. I got a job in 2017 working for my business mentor, running ads for his business and over 500 of his clients. And then since then, in 2018, I left that to start my own marketing business. And I generated over $40 million in recorded sales using paid ads and marketing funnels. And this is for high ticket info and service businesses. And right now I run a business called The Rainmakers with my business partner, Phil, who has a similar background. He's made multiple seven figures in the online coaching space, very good copywriter and marketer. And we actively run ads for 10 different partners, generating over $1 million a month. And both of us, work with actually training marketers, usually who are working with about 3 to 5 clients of their own. So teaching them these systems, teaching them these structures. So this is coming from a lot of experience, a lot of trial and error, learning from a lot of very good people, investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into mentors and masterminds over the years as well. And I just want to keep it really simple. And I want to show you kind of what's actually working in real time. So this is based on an ad that I'm running today. Like, this isn't something I did a year ago. I'm going to show you, how the ad was written and why it actually works. So I'm going to give you an easy framework that you can replicate for your own offers or for offers that you run ads for as a marketer. And right now, this ad is getting under $3 Australian a lead. So that's $2 US, about £1.50 in the UK. It's getting a 3.7% link click-through rate, which is extremely high. 10% of leads are upselling straight away into our low ticket, which is averaging a $35 AOV, that's average order value. And it means we're actually profiting so far on the ads on the front end. So we're actually, liquidating or more than liquidating our ad spend. Our landing page is converting at 43%, which is way above industry average. And our ads are performing with above average quality, engagement, and conversion ranking. And I'll actually show you this inside of Ads Manager so you can see what I'm looking at. So this is the ad. We've had 82 leads so far, 8 purchases. So about 10% of leads are upselling, $2.86, that's Australian. So far, we've spent under $250. So we've just been running this just under a week. And as you can see, quality ranking above average, engagement rate ranking above average, conversion rate ranking above average. And we're getting, really, really good numbers on that. And basically what that just means is this is an ad that is performing extremely well. Now, if you're just getting cheap leads, but nothing's happening on the back end, that's not always a good thing, right? Sometimes that's actually a bad thing because you're just attracting a lot of the wrong people. But the fact that we're upselling 10% of these leads coming through is a really good indicator on lead quality. We're getting applications, having people reach out in the DMs. I'm having conversations with people that are buying the low ticket, and I can see that they are our ICP. They're actually good people that are coming through. They're not just like randoms who are never going to buy from us or never convert into our high ticket offer. Now, obviously, not everybody's going to convert, but we have an understanding of our numbers, and that when people buy our low ticket, they're more likely to ascend into our high ticket as well. So this is working extremely well. Now, how we actually write these ads is really important to understand. And it doesn't matter what type of ad you're running, whether you're running a follower ad, whether you're running a DM ad, whether you're running an opt-in page like this, whether you're running straight to a sales page or you're doing a live webinar. Like, we run all of these funnels for clients, and this framework is used across the board, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing. So first of all, we want a benefit-driven headline. We want to speak to the right level of awareness. We want to use what I call the 4 Ws. We want ad to landing page congruency. We want high video quality if we're using video ads, and we want low readability score. And I'm going to go into each one of those right now and show you what that means. So if we start with headlines, because this is where, this is probably the most important part of any advertising campaign, is like the headline you're leading with, right? And what that looks like is, a simple one-liner. And this comes from Ogilvy, who's like an old school advertiser from the 60s. He had one of the biggest advertising agencies in America. They're based in Madison Avenue in New York. Really, really successful advertiser. He's written multiple books. And this is a really good book called Ogilvy on Advertising. And without kind of giving you the whole book, I can give you kind of 4 bullet points that are going to be super relevant here. First of all, the most successful headlines promise a benefit to the reader, right? Headlines containing new elements are consistently effective. So something that's new, something that's novel, something that's exciting. This is easy because it's done automatically on Meta, but it is advisable to almost always include the brand name in the headline, right? So when you run ads, it will show, your name or your business name in the top corner, so that's fine. And then a headline comprising approximately 10 words tends to have better sales impact. So it's short, it's direct, and it gets the point across much better, right? One of the hardest things in copywriting isn't writing a lot of words, it's getting an idea and condensing it into as few words as possible, right? That's really, really important to understand. And so I'm going to show you this ad right now because you can see kind of what this looks like on the platform. So this is the ad. And obviously it looks a bit different on mobile because the text is underneath, but it's a B-roll video. It's 7 seconds long. And this is the headline: Instagram follower ads, full strategy to turn followers into clients. So it is results and benefit driven, right? Followers and strategy. And it's 10 words, right? So I'm following Ogilvy's advice here, keeping it 10 words. The headline is a kind of new and exciting take on something. So people are already running follower ads, they know what they are, but I'm kind of talking about this new strategy that turns them into clients, right? So it's a higher level of sophistication. And I'm talking about a benefit. Now, to go a level deeper, we want to understand the different levels of awareness within marketing. And this comes from another marketer, advertiser from the similar era called Eugene Schwartz, and he wrote this book called Breakthrough Advertising, which is incredibly hard to get hold of. If you go on Amazon, it's like $2,000, but you can get the PDF online. That's how I've managed to read it over the years. But basically, I can break it down into there's a really important process. I can break it down into 5 steps, which he calls the 5 stages of awareness in marketing. Now, the first stage we're not really going to entertain in high ticket ads, right? When you're running sniper ads, you're not trying to do huge brand awareness campaigns and reach millions of people. You're trying to be really, really specific. So number 1, with unaware, this person doesn't know that they have a problem or a solution exists. And the marketing goal is introduce the problem and highlight its existence into their life. So we actually don't want to do this because this is very expensive to do this, right? You're trying to change the behavior of people in the masses. And this is what big companies that have billion-dollar budgets do, right? When you're looking at big TV commercials, infomercials, even social media campaigns, they're trying to change behavior, right? They're trying to change psychology. It's incredibly hard to do. And you need to have a big, big advertising budget. So we're not trying to do that. Next is problem aware. And you can do this. And this works for like B2C, more like biz op type offers, right? Make money type offers, quit your job and start this new side hustle, right? And they know they have a problem, but they're unaware of the possible solutions, right? So for example, if you're stuck in a 9-to-5 job you hate, that's the problem. You're aware of it and you have some skills, but you don't know there's a solution and a way out of it. So somebody coming in and saying, hey, have you heard of this new drop shipping thing? Have you heard about becoming a coach, right? Like those are possible solutions. And the marketing goal is literally, we want to show them a way out of it with your offering. Now, when it comes to high ticket, this can be quite hard, right? Because you're going to have a slow process to take somebody from never hearing of you before, can't get my words out, to becoming a client. It's going to be a slow process. And so most of the time I try and avoid that market, and I actually go after this one, solution aware. They know there are solutions to their problem, but they are unfamiliar with your specific product. So your work has already been done in the market of people educating them, right? And becoming problem aware. Like other people can do that for you in the market. So you're speaking to somebody who's higher sophistication. They already know like, okay, I want to quit my job and I want to get into dropshipping. I want to get into coaching. I want to get into this thing, but I don't really know where to go from this. So you're like doing the next step, which is the solution awareness. Now, obviously, the people who are marketing to the problem aware are doing the solution. They're doing all the steps, but they're just making it harder for themselves. Next is product and most aware. And I'm not going to go into those in too much detail because these are people who are already in your ecosystem. There's somebody who already has followed you. They're on your email list. They're watching your content. They maybe even spoken to you in the DMs. They already know who you are. So this is like your ongoing content, retargeting and emails, right? And I call this reverse organic. I have videos on the channel that talk about this, but this is really just engaging people who are already in your audience. And that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people who are never heard of you before. They're cold traffic and we're turning them into clients. And so that is where we're looking at people who are solution aware. They've seen things in the market and you are just trying to find people who need that extra step. And so for me here, I'm not trying to sell people on the idea of running follower ads, right? I'm speaking to people who are already familiar with follower ads. Maybe they're running them already. Maybe they've tried running them, but I'm going into more detail here. I'm like, how I'm getting these followers, how I'm converting them, what content ideas I'm using, what creatives, how I'm selling them in the DMs, or getting high value calls for a done for you offer, how I'm automatically growing my email and YouTube, right? And how I get low ticket buyers for my info products and liquidate the ad spend. So this is like higher level sophistication than just, here's how you can run ads to get followers, right? That's a low level sophistication. This is a higher level sophistication within the market. So this is a framework I created. I call this the 4 Ws to effective advertising. And it's effectively a filter, right? So it's 4 questions that you want to answer in order to have effectiveness with your ad. So the first question is who? Like, who is it you're marketing to? So I have this call out here, right? New training for marketers, coaches, and agencies. It's pretty specific, right? And I also have it in the ad copy here, right? Marketers, coaches, and agencies. So the call out is very, very specific. Now, you might be in the B2C market, and maybe you're targeting people who have a hobby or an interest, like, hey, you're a hybrid athlete, or hey, you're a tennis player, or hey, you're a busy dad with 3 kids, or you're a stay-at-home mom, like whatever it is, right? You're targeting a set demographic, right? You've worked in corporate for the last 20 years. You're talking to the who within the ad. That's really, really important. The more specific we can get with this, the better when it comes to a high ticket offer. For example, we have some clients that work with like very high caliber businesses. It's like, you're a business, you're a service business, you're making over $1 million a year in your business, right? That's very specific. So what are we covering, right? So that's here, right? We're talking about Instagram follower ads, and we're talking about strategy to turn followers into clients. And then I have more, details here that break down the what, which also link to the want. What do people want? And so that's what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about, they don't just want to run follower ads and get followers, they want to get clients. And I'm also talking about how to come up with content ideas. They want to know this stuff. People have asked me these questions, like, what content do I create? How I'm testing creatives and finding winners, right? They want to know this. How I'm selling these offers in the back end, they want to know this. How I'm growing my email list on YouTube, they want to know this. And how I get low ticket buyers, they want to know this, right? So the want is really important here as well. And the last step is pretty simple. It's where. Where are we sending them? Are we getting them to comment below and get sent access to something? Is it a DM ad and they DM you a keyword? Is it a link click and they go into a page? Like, for example, with this one, we're going to a landing page and they're opting in, right? So my call to action is to click the link to get access. If I want them to comment something, I want them to comment the keyword below. If I want them to DM me something, I say, DM me the keyword this, right? You want to make the call to action very specific in what you're doing, right? It sounds like really simple, but a lot of people don't do this. So where is super important as well. This is a filter. You need to answer those 4 questions anytime you're running an ad. Who is this for? What am I covering? What do they want? And where am I sending them? Next is ad to landing page congruency, how to maintain high conversion rates. So this right now is converting at 43%. And one of the reasons is because we are getting people through from this ad to this page, which looks very similar, and it's saying the same things, right? New training for marketers, coaches, and agencies. New training for marketers, coaches, and agencies. I'm talking about follower ads. I'm talking about how to get clients from follower ads. And then on the landing page, I'm talking about the strategy to get followers and turn those followers into clients, right? And then even the image is a screenshot of this ad. So it's very, very similar. Now, even if you're running DM ads or you're doing something else where it's not necessarily going to a landing page, there needs to be congruency. There needs to be a throughput through the funnel where the messaging is the same. If you have messaging on an ad that's different from the funnel or where you're sending people, then there's going to be a disconnect. They're going to drop off and they're not going to take the next step with you, whether that's a conversation, whether that's them putting their name and email in, whether that's buying a low ticket offer, whether that's signing up to a webinar. Like, they're not going to carry on if there's incongruencies. And that's where your conversion rates are much lower, and you're getting 15% instead of 30%, right? 30% is what I aim for most of the time. For some clients, 25% is good. But this funnel right now is doing 43%, which is like incredibly good, right? That's like way better than I usually aim for. Might drop over time and that's fine, but 43% right now is super high. And it's because we have congruency, right? Now, for some people, they look at their ad and they're like, oh, it's not performing well. So I'm going to give you a quick tip here. If your link click cost is super high and you're getting like 40% conversions, that tells me the ad itself is not very good, right? It tells me that you need to work on the ad and improving that. Now, if you're getting loads of clicks from the ad, but your conversion rate on the landing page is low, that tells me the landing page needs work. And maybe it's because the congruency is just off, right? The branding, the colors, what you're saying, the fonts, like all of it needs to be congruent with the ad. So we need to make sure that we're covering both bases there. Like we're looking at the ad and then we're looking at the landing page. Because a lot of times, beginners do this a lot. They'll look at stuff and say, hey, it's not working, it's the ads. But actually it's the landing page most of the time. It's the ad might be doing well and the landing page isn't doing well. It's only if the link click cost, the engagement on the ad is really bad, is where we want to look at the ad. Sometimes it's both, and maybe your landing page conversion is low and your link click costs are super high, then you want to adjust both. So, lastly, two things which are often overlooked but make a huge difference is, this is specific if you're doing videos, but like video quality matters. Now, I don't mean you have to film it on a professional camera like this. Like this is, this ad was shot on a DSLR, professional lighting. I'm not talking about that. If you're filming a video and it's just a selfie video with your iPhone, then the same thing applies, which is it needs to be shot in as high a quality as you can. So if you've got like one of the latest iPhones, then you can shoot on 4K, right? I shoot on 4K on this camera. When I then take this video and I put it in CapCut and I do these text overlays, right? Like I've uploaded this into CapCut, I've added some music, some text, and I've put this overlay on. I'm then exporting it in 4K. This sounds really simple, but like the default settings most of the time are 1080, they're not 4K. So you need to make sure that you're exporting it and the file on your computer is 4K before you upload it into Ads Manager, because that quality makes a difference, right? You want to make sure you have the highest quality that you can on the file. Now, if you film something you want to use as an ad and it's, it's eye-catching and it was filmed in 1080, it's not the end of the world, but you just want to try and plan for this as much as possible. Now, the next thing is about ad copy, which is readability score, and this is important. So when we get our ad copy, we write it, we want to copy it, and we want to paste it into this. Now, this is called Hemingway app. It's free. You just search Hemingway app or go to hemingwayapp.com. It's just a page like this, and it has a readability score. And all you do is you're copying and pasting your ad copy into this file, right? So usually I will write this on a Google Doc first. I'll paste it into the Hemingway app and I'll tweak it to have a low readability score, right? So the lower the readability score, the better this is, right? So it means it's easy to read. It says good, it's green. That means it's easy to read. It's easy on the eye, right? We're not writing this as we would do a novel or something that we do in school or university. Writing this as from a copywriting perspective where somebody is scrolling through on the phone and it's broken up into bite-sized chunks, so it's easy for them to read. Same thing applies with email marketing as well. If you ever read any of my emails, I don't write super long paragraphs. I break everything up and it's spaced out because people are scrolling through on their phone and it makes it easy for them to read. And even if I do this, even if I just start kind of putting this together and I break it up, it's gone red, right? Very hard to read. This is a big chunk of text, right? Somebody's on their small phone and they're trying to read it. If that's the first paragraph, they're like, oh, I'm not going to read this. It's too much brain power, right? It's not a lot of brain power, but from their perspective, it is, even subconsciously. So we want to break this up. And that increases the readability score. If they read it, they're more likely to take the next action, but also they're spending more time on the ad. So this is things that affect the engagement rate of the ad. If somebody spends more time reading the text, watching the video, engaging with the ad, then that improves the ad performance. If they read this and then they click the link, that improves the ad performance. It's telling Meta, this is a good ad and we want to send it to more people. If you have a big block of text that's low quality, they're not going to want to take the next step. And so together, all of these steps is what we call the sniper ad framework, right? It's benefit-driven headline in 10 words, ideally. You speak to the right level of awareness in the market, as solution aware. We use the 4 Ws, right? Who, what, want, and where to filter people. We have ads to landing page or to destination congruency if it's DMs, right? We have high video quality if we're using video, and we use a low readability score for the ad copy. When you have those things in place, you are setting up your chances for success, right? Now, it doesn't mean every ad you do is going to be an absolute banger. No, right? I'll go and create 5, 10 different ads. Maybe 2 or 3 will do well and the other 7 won't. But I'm using this framework to increase our probability of successful ads. And these are kind of like the filters, the processes, the frameworks I use when I'm writing any ad copy and when I'm creating an ad, putting a video together, putting a campaign together. So hopefully you found this useful. These are based on questions I get asked a lot when it comes to like how to actually create ads, because people just don't know how to write copy. They don't know how to write hooks. They don't know how to come up with those angles. And I think it's super, super important for you to understand as a marketer to put this stuff together. Now, that being said, if you are a marketer and you're wanting to level up, you want to hit 30 to 50K months in your business, then DM me the word 50K on Instagram to find out about our mentorship. Now, this is for people who are freelance or they run a small agency and they're wanting to learn more around how to do growth partnerships and become a full stack marketer. Maybe right now you just have one skill. You do video editing, you do appointment setting, media buying, copywriting. Like you just have like one skill set and you're undercharging for that. You're charging a monthly retainer. It's quite hard to like, get a lot of clients, and it's stressful because you have to manage all these people that are not really valuing you. They're seeing you as a vendor rather than, a partner in their business. If you want to learn how to become a growth partner and charge, good amount for a build out, plus get paid a revenue share with businesses that are doing good money, this is exactly what I did. I went from being a vendor charging $500 a month to having clients pay me. I've had 5 clients now pay me over 6 figures, and we have clients regularly paying us over 10K a month, right? Because we have partnerships and we have the ability to come in on a strategic level to map things out, to write copy, to come up with campaigns, to structure the ads, from A to Z, right? We're not just coming in and doing this one specific thing. We're a full stack marketer, or full stack marketers between me and my business partner. And we're able to build this out for clients and get paid while doing it. So if that's something you're interested in, DM me the word 50K on Instagram, and I can send you details about how we can help you develop your skills further as a marketer. If not, then I will love you and leave you. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.